In this video, I'll be trying my possible best to explain what liquidity void is and how you should trade it, how you should identify liquidity void when you see it on a chart, and when you see it on a chart, what you need to do next. But first off, let's understand what is liquidity void. A liquidity void is also known as a liquidity gap or a liquidity crisis. Refers to a situation where there is insufficient liquidity in financial markets, lack of buyers or sellers. Now, a liquidity void can also be called an imbalance. Yes, okay, let me give you a diagram representation or explanation of what is liquidity void. For instance, now we have a balance market like this. It's called balance because there is no void between the candles. Then all of a sudden we have an imbalance like this. Now, in this kind of markets, where there's an imbalance, in no time market will always come back to fill in this void it has created, to cover up this imbalance it has created and make it to be balanced. Now, liquidity void is also another word or another term for fair value gap. They almost mean the same thing. There are a whole lot of things that causes liquidity void. For instance, we have the market downturn or crisis, economic uncertainty, regulatory changes, or the unavailability of the buyers or sellers in that market or in that trend. Those are the things that causes liquidity void. Let me still give you more examples. For instance, now let me say, in case you don't understand this diagram, as an ICT trader, you really need to understand the concept of liquidity void. Or even if you're not an ICT trader, you also need to understand liquidity void. If you want to really know what we do in this channel, please do well to head over to my channel, subscribe to this channel, and then come down to this playlist. This is where I talk about everything about ICT. I explain ICT. I also trade ICT and price action. So I trade the both. So in this playlist I explain a whole lot about ICT. All right, let's continue. So let's say we have candle movements like this, and then you can see vividly that in this kind of candle movements there is a whole lot of void in the market, meaning that in no time that market will surely come back to fill in this imbalance it has created over time. Okay, let's move to the chart and have a better explanation. All right, guys, so in areas like this, there was a very strong market balance here. There was a strong market balance in this area where my cursor is. There was a strong market balance there, and then all of a sudden there was a massive pull down from this area. You can see there was a massive pull down from this area. So now liquidity void cannot just be one candle. Sometimes it's a trend. It can happen in weekly time frame, it can happen in daily time frame, it can happen in any time frame. The liquidity void can happen anywhere. So the ability for you to spot it on time really helps. So then all of a sudden market came back to retest that institutional reference point, that imbalance, that inefficiency it has created over time. Like this movement now is called sellers efficiency and buyers inefficiency. Now, so this is the, let me show you, this is the market reference point, institutional reference point that the market has made over time, this area here. So now in future, market will always come back to fill up this space. Sometimes it fill it up completely, sometimes it doesn't fill it up completely, before finally moving to its original trend, its original direction. So it's always good for you as an ICT trader that each time you see such kind of movement, you know that this is end of a trend. You take your profits before moving further down to analyze more. Alright guys, so another explanation is this area. You can see there was 4 hours time frame in GBP USD. Market was ranging downwardly, you can see, and then all of a sudden there was this market created initially before there was an imbalance in this area. There was a seller's efficiency in this area, and then all of a sudden market started to pull back to, you know, cover up that efficiency. Remember I told you sometimes it can be completely, sometimes it can not be completely. You can see it's going back to fill up that reference, that institutional reference point it has created initially in the before finally going back to its original strength. You can see it's complete, this particular one completely filled that that gap, then finally now is pushing down. So it is very, very always important to know this fair value gap and how to use it. In subsequent video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use liquidity void to place a trade and also trade entry. Also, do well to watch my video where I talks about fair value gap as well, so that you need to join both of them together, so for you to understand the next video I'm gonna be able to make. Alright guys, if you find value in this video, please do well to hit the subscribe button and then turn on the notification bell. Do well to share this video, do well to like, comment, so that you tell the algorithm that this video is good, and they will also recommend it to other persons to watch. Alright, see you again. Bye. I remain UJ Academy.